Alright, so Red MEI MEI. In this video, we're going to be showcasing her. I have clips of her performing at her best in both the sweep battle run, where I got 68 million damage with her, and also in tower basically for nukes. Now, MEI MEI, is she much better than Toji or Yuta? No. Is she as good as them? Yes. Is she the best? In my opinion, yes. Out of the three, I think she is the best, but I don't think it matters, because if you have Toji or Yuta, I don't think there's a need for MEI MEI, but I think she's really good. So if you're a MEI MEI enjoyer, you can watch this video and kind of see why I personally like her. Now, there's another thing to mention, and that is the fact that I'm not really doing as many showcases in tower, and the main reason is because it's too easy. It's too easy. Like, I just don't see a point in showcasing in tower when no matter which floor I fight, besides like maybe 52, but I feel like even 52 I could get, I could clear with MEI MEI. It's like these stages now are too easy, right? And you might be like, but how? I mean, it's also, I mean, compared to global, the units we have are just way better, but also the SP buffs, right? Because like obviously with my MEI MEI, you could see that I have SP boost into her 27 out of 32, which is giving her massive stat increases. I think like at least 1,000 to each, but it's like, it might not seem like much, but it really does put everything over the edge, make sure no one dies, because you have like an extra like 10k HP. So in this video, we're going to be going in sweep and also nuking. Right, those are the two things we're going to do. One of the metrics that many people have been using has been nuking, because if we're able to clear everything, well, let's test their max damage. So I'm going to pull up the clips, and here we go. All right, so here we go for the first clip. This is quite long. So essentially the beginning is really nothing. I just build up, right? So we start getting everything ready, basically getting Degumi's ult. I think on the third turn, I start stacking. So we got that, and then we start stacking on the third turn, and that includes Pride because they have the same turn count. So I just want to make sure something's clear. Pride works better for MEI MEI because she has 1400% Jujutsu. So if you build into that with 2 Pride stacks, it's way higher than just MEI MEI's damage. Also because stats are more multiplicative than damage increases, due to the fact that damage increase buff and debuff are additive, where Jujutsu stat buff and debuff are multiplicative with each other. So having Pride is way better than her own memory from what we've seen, right? So essentially I do end up doing the nuke in sweep, and the main reason is because it's way easier. There's no debuff, so it's like you get to see the max damage, right? And also it's very hard for them to kill anyone, which my Gakku Ganji is very susceptible to death. So essentially I don't really do much. 3 turns before MEI MEI's ult, MEI MEI's stack resets, I use Degumi's ult, and then we start buffing with Yaga and Gakku Ganji, so then we could kind of go up here, right? And after that, we have this turn where this is the third, basically the third, what is it? It's the third stack of Degumi, right? So the third stack of Degumi, we use the Mekamaru recollection bit. We use our 4th stack of Gakku Ganji. We use the recollection bit, right? Then we got Yaga with his recollection bit, which is the new one that was released with MEI MEI. MEI MEI had 2 recollection bits released. This is a 25% Jujutsu buff. And then we have our 2nd stack. All right. And in this, you'll see how much she does, but it's a pretty good number. We have another clip to show after this, but overall, like, to me, this does place MEI MEI as the highest, and I'll explain why afterwards. So we do 3.1 million into a 25, which puts her at 28.8 million, and then we have another clip. So this is the second clip. Oh, well, I guess we're going to put it in this, and you'll see the nuke here is going to be, if it could play, so this is a bit higher at 29.9 million, 29.5, sorry, 29.5. So that's the highest I've been able to hit. I think you could get up to like 31 if you change the team up a bit, but overall I'm definitely pretty happy with that number. And now we're gonna get into the talk. So Toji, his max at like the same dupe level is about like 27 million, but with MEI MEI you could get up to like 31. So in my opinion, MEI MEI overall ult damage is higher. You could definitely say overall consistency maybe a bit lower, but we'll see in the sweep video that I'm going to let play out. Her skill 3 still does good damage, right? So that's not to be discounted for sure, for sure. I would say that just overall, MEI MEI, like, okay, hold on. Toji, I mean, you could obviously use Like-Minded Sisters, which I recommend, but his alt gauge is slightly higher, but I don't think that really matters because of Like-Minded for sure. I would say they're about equal. Like Toji and MEI MEI are about equal, but I give MEI MEI the edge because her alt does that little bit more. So even if Toji can do more damage with like the skill 3 or something, to me it doesn't matter, right? Because her alt does more, and then her skill 3 could still do some, right? She's very easy to build also, where with Toji you got to get the crits, so that's definitely something, because without the crits she doesn't have the taijutsu buff of 25%, and it has to be twice, right? Now compared to Yuta, she does less damage. I think Yuta's max is like 31, where MEI MEI's is like 31. So sorry, Yuta's is 35, MEI MEI's is 31. And the thing is, Yuta has a 4-turn cooldown while his skill 3 can do damage. I don't know. I really do think that due to the fact that it's a 4-turn cooldown before you could use the ult, that's another like 7 to 8 turns that you can't use it, where MEI MEI, like, you'll see, she gets it very frequently, and it's very easy to get 2 pride stacks for the ult. So we're going to show that right now in the sweep run, and we're going to just play it through completely. All right, completely. So here we go. This is the team that I am running. Now, Kaido has been just such a like fucking sweetheart for all my runs. He is basically needed for the CE because you need to get the buffs up for both Gakuganji and Yaga to be able to clear the first phase well enough and in time, right? Now, Domain Gojo, one of the big things is that he is a necessity. Now, the thing is, considering how all the red DPSs are around the same level, to me, it very much screams that they are building the red DPSs around the fact that Domain Gojo exists, and he is the godly sub DPS. Because if these red units were even like 20% better, up 20 to 50% better, like let's say we got a red DPS on the level of Sukuna, the problem is no red content would be hard at all in the future, even sweep, because Domain Gojo just does so much as is while supporting the main DPS and doing so much damage that you just cannot make the red units too good, because the red team as a whole, alongside the value of the red units, is just so strong. So I count the value and how strong MEI MEI is, how strong Yuta and Toji is alongside Domain Gojo, the same way you'd count the yellow DPSs alongside yellow Yaga and Shoko, because red Domain Gojo is always used. The same way if you have Shoko and Yaga, they will be used. The same way if you have Green Ghetto, he will be used with Muta, with Green Megumi. So I think that is a fair point. Now we have alt increase. Now we have the stack. We need stack with this. This is a taunt memory, and this is to increase his alt gauge while he's going to get it in time, but also it's going to give the damage increase when he comes in right away because it's after turn 4. So here we go. Let's just hop into this, and I'm just going to give you guys a walkthrough. So essentially you just buff. I think on turn 2 is when I use my stacks with both Gakuganji, and that's for the taunt, right? So first, attack is a debuff, so it's not an attack, it's just like a debuff, but I use it here just because I don't want to get attacked too much with Kaido. I have a certain order of things that I like to do it in after doing this a lot of times. So turn 2 we do that, and then afterwards we stack, right? So that's our second buff with MEI MEI, all right? And you'll see now the third turn, I go right into the attack. You want to finish the first phase by turn 4, and it's pretty much a guarantee. So the first hit's always going to be Kaido, all right? And then you cursed energy increase again. You try to get 3 CE increases, the first time, the second time, and the third time in phase 2. So MEI MEI's damage is decent here. 1.2 million is not bad, considering Kaido is completely like not going to affect that at all. Now we do want to kill, and it's pretty funny. I've had to start using the skill 3 because I'm missing just that little bit, because my skill 3 is not level 10, right? So if it was level 10, my MEI MEI would be fine, but obviously it's not. So this is the way you want to go about it. You just want Yaga to do that little bit of damage, right? And you'll see, right, there is there's 2 turns left on the pride, which means it's positioned perfectly that even if Gakuganji doesn't have 4 stacks in, Yaga does. Actually, no, he doesn't, because we did the skill, we did the attack. So you'll see that we do less damage here, which is why we don't insta-kill. But we do Kaido ult, right? You need to ult there, and then we just buff. We go for the buffs right away, right? So pretty simple, right? There we go. And bam. All right. So MEI MEI gets hit, which you need because you want to get the stack of 50% on her, which is permanent, by the way. And then we start building that. We need this cursed energy for Gakuganji, or else it's kind of wraps, right? And then here we go. So unfortunately, due to the fact that my MEI MEI skill 3 is not level 10, of course, that does mean I do less damage on this ult, which you'll see right now. And Kaido is supposed to die there. Domain Gojo comes in, and that's basically just like, it's perfect timing. So we do get the damage increase from Domain Gojo because it's past turn 4, and it gives a 25% damage increase for 3 turns, which is very much needed. As you can see, it's already on Domain Gojo. I can't really hover over it, but you see it right there, right? The 3rd buff. And we keep the alt gauge for next turn because there's no reason to do it this turn, especially because I want MEI MEI to also get her ult a bit quicker. So I think I'm just like making sure everything's right. I don't know why I didn't just go for the debuff. Like, I should be going for the debuff here. Yeah, please. Do I? I guess I don't. All right. So I think that was a bit of a fumble on my part, but it didn't really change anything. I should have went for the debuff, seeing in hindsight how much I did. I thought this was a guaranteed kill, but unfortunately it was not, but it's fine because, I mean, we still got the full clear, but that was a bit of a fumble. You could definitely say that. We do 10 mil, and we're like 2 turns off from killing, I think. It is unfortunate, though, that we didn't debuff with Gakuganji, and we're missing a Yaga stack also because I had to go for the skill 3 because my MEI MEI skill 3 was not level 10, is what it is. So we go for the double ult, and the reason is to get Gojo's ult gauge in time, because when you double ult with him, it gives 220 ult gauge total to the whole team, because Yaga gives 110, Gaku gives 110, right? So pretty simple on that part. And then you'll see how Domain Gojo's ult just like goes rapidly up because it starts right there, right? Look at my mouse. It starts right there. And he got all that in 1 turn. Like, that's insane. And then because of the break, we get his ult, which we don't need it right now, but it's fine. It's good. Unfortunate, that's crazy. This is my type of luck. This is on God my type of luck. Like, usually there was a lot of runs where I'd finish, well, I'd like, it would be done. The first phase, I'd keep it at 50k HP, 50,000, right? Which is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy, right? So now we kill, obviously, right? I guess I could have done, it didn't matter which skill I did with Domain Gojo, but yeah, I was going to say I could have done another one, but it didn't really matter. And now we just debuff and buff, right? And then we go with Gojo, which she has 6 turns left, right? So we get the full buff, and we time it perfectly once again, right? As you can see. So it's huge. Well, actually, did we? Yeah, I think we did, because it can go down to 1, and yeah. So that's actually very huge. And this time, obviously, we're going to do a lot more damage, as we're going to have a 300% damage increase instead of Kaido's 120 Jujutsu, so huge. And I think we're going to have better stacks with Gaku and Yaga. So if I really wanted to, I could have delayed it by 1 turn to get a bigger stack, which honestly probably would have been better, especially with Gakuganji, but hey, once again, I cleared, so who the fuck cares, right? And you'll start seeing that also Domain Gojo is a huge carry in this, but like I said, Domain Gojo is essentially like, he is tuned into the fact of how red DPSs are being built, right? So I do think that's pretty important to mention. But we do a solid 22 million there, which is, or wait, that was higher, no? Because no, I think it was 22 total. So never mind, it was 22. So now you'll see Domain Gojo is like going to start going crazy too here, and that's the reason we're able to kill. But it does look quite good for everyone. I mean, I don't know if we get another MEI MEI ult. Now, even that, 4 million on that, not even on the ult, is quite high, in my opinion. And thank God I did not, okay, good, we do go for the ult again. Oh, true, okay, so this is how we get the ult. I completely forgot. That's so true. And I think we get, I think we do get Domain Gojo's ult also, which does fortunately let us clear, because ulting with these two together gives a 220, like I said, and we have the ult gauge increase. So I think we do time it perfectly to get Pride on the last hit. And remember, we only use 1 Pride stack every ult. So at every single ult, we have 2 Pride stacks activated, which is why Pride works really well with her. I just wish her ult was 1800%, because if it was, she would be probably the 2nd best DPS in the game. That 400% would have been enough to like make her do like maybe 40 to 50 million per ult. Like, I think so. Let me know if I'm wrong, but especially with Pride, it would have been a very big boost. So we do time it perfectly. We wait for MEI MEI, right? We go for the buff, obviously, because we definitely needed to. Yeah, we only have 1 stack. Thank God I didn't use it there, because if not, that could have been bad. Especially with Domain Gojo. Oh, do we get it? No, we don't even, damn, okay, Domain Gojo kind of sold us there. We're 1 turn off, that's unfortunate. If we got killed with MEI MEI, I would have been so sad. But we're fine, right? We are completely fine. 3 CE low, but we do end up clearing with MEI MEI. And that's the run. So MEI MEI did do very good here. I would say MEI MEI did very well, like doing a good 7 million at the end. So obviously some units can clear quicker, but she is built around her ult. So even her being able to clear in general was fine. We probably could have saved 2 turns. One, Actually, could we have? I don't know. I'm not sure actually. So am I going to show it? Hello? Okay, there we go. So you'll see Domain Gojo did a very high amount. So the highest damage we did with MEI MEI was 22 million and the highest with Gojo was 6 million. But you see that MEI MEI did 45 while Domain Gojo did 20. And this is how it does look for a lot of the DPSs that run Domain Gojo because DE Gojo just is such a good sub DPS, right? But I do think they are a bit lenient on him. But I think that, in my opinion, it is fine because they built the mono red or the mono red team or just the red team in general around the fact that Domain Gojo exists. And MEI MEI, considering that, is good. Very good, right? She's able to clear, and that's good enough, right? That's definitely good enough. You could definitely min-max this shit a lot better. Probably could have cleared a bit quicker too, but overall, I'm quite happy with it. She is quite the good unit. Quite the good unit. If you don't have red DPSs or you plan to start a global account now, let's say, because let's say you're on JP, right? Let's say you're on JP and you're like, oh shit, global sync is coming up. And it's like, well, I don't have a red DPS. Well, guess what? MEI MEI is going to be a very good red DPS for you. But this could obviously change for Tower in April, right? End of April. And we'll see how it fares with 61 to floor 80, right? But I would definitely say that she's good. Now, obviously, what's great is she's not coming out before these new tower floors. So, to me, that means that you guys are able to see, like, are these units worth it or not? And that's going to be huge. Thank you for watching the video. Let me know what you think of MEI MEI. But I would say that this showcase of MEI MEI was a lot better than the last one, especially in sweep. I'm happy with the final product. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.